Stopped you for your speed. License, registration, insurance.
Sure. It's a rental car.
Registration and rental agreement.
That's the rental agreement?
Where are you from?
Germany.
Do you know what the speed limit is here, you Germany boy?
That's the rental agreement?
Where are you from?
Germany.
Do you know what the speed limit is here, you Germany boy?
That's the rental agreement?
Where are you from?
Germany.
Do you know what the speed limit is here, you Germany boy?
I didn't really get it yet.
Then why are you driving in my country?
Um,
Why are you driving if you're not paying attention to the speed limit?
is it 70?
It's 70 miles an hour, then why are you going 98?
I was just following another...
Don't follow any other cars, and let me give you a little hint. You weren't following nobody.
Okay.
I was right in front of you. You were leading the pack. This ain't the Autobahn. Do you understand that?
I got that, sir.
You know what happens to nice little boys like you that have to go to jail for reckless driving? Ass to be hurting for a month. Do you understand that?
I got that, sir.
You know what happens to nice little boys like you that have to go to jail for reckless driving? Ass to be hurting for a month.
Okay, I get what you...
7377 personnel.
I suggest you slow down and do 70, or you
happen.
will
Yep.
get violated.
This article is called Crosswalk Bombshell. Officer Texan Before Hitting Wheelchair Man by Courtney Stewart, August 29, 2011. Okay, so this is just, I'm always overly inundated with all the police brutality, but I wonder if it's just on my Facebook feed. I don't know if everybody's actually seeing the same things that I'm seeing, okay? So, new information is revealed in the course of the victim's civil lawsuit indicates that immediately right before the incident, the Al B. Marley officer, Gregory C. Davis, was involved in excessive texting. Furthermore, according to the document, Officer Davis may, under oath, have intentionally downplayed his texting. So for nearly 4 years, a dash cam video of a county police officer striking a wheelchair pedestrian in a crosswalk in broad daylight was the most shocking aspect of the case. And it goes to show that he was texting while he was actually involved. He was excessively texting, right? So members of the public who have seen the video probably wondered how in the world this officer could have missed this person in a wheelchair, says attorney Richard Armstrong. This finally explains. So messages left with Davis, his attorney, and the chief of police were not returned, and police spokesperson Darrell Byer says the ongoing litigation prevents comment. So the November 5th, 2007 accident created widespread outrage, particularly after the release of the dash cam video showing clear conditions at the intersection of West Main and 4th Streets. Feelings are already running high since the officer went uncharged while the injured man in the wheelchair, Gary Mitchell, was served with a ticket in his UVA hospital bed.
Provo police fire a school resource officer after they say he repeatedly stripped down to a Speedo during a faculty birthday party.
They say Officer Cody Harris violated several codes of conduct in front of faculty and even students. Fox 13's Ashton Goodell is live outside Provo High School with the details. Ashton?
Okay, so this guy is on a wheelchair crossing the street and the guy runs into him. Is that what the fuck happens? So they filed an $850,000 lawsuit. And, you know, it's just incredible how these people act, to be honest with you. Police are absolutely out of control. They're out of control all over the country. The LMPD is probably one of the worst police outfits ever, okay? So it doesn't matter what happens, they will always defend their own. They will always defend their own. The police merit board, they'll cover it up. The internal investigation, they'll cover it up too. I was charged with assaulting a police officer, with menacing, resisting arrest, and disorderly conduct for 4 charges, okay? And I got this shit going on right now, right? So they've completely fucked up my face, completely fucked up my appearance, right? Completely changed my face for the rest of my life. and $28,000 in medical bills. And I was convicted of just menacing. So 3 of the 4 charges were knocked down, including the big one, assault a police officer. The grand jury had knocked that down. So it's incredible. It's just absolutely incredible, like when you compare this case with some of these other cases.
Well, the striptease happened at a secretary's birthday party at the school. Students and teachers watched as the student resource officer pulled his pants down at least 4 times. He was supposed to wear leggings, but he opted just for the Speedo. Police fired Cody Harris for the inappropriate behavior. They say the stunt violated codes of conduct, including conduct unbecoming of an officer and the city's sexual harassment policy. The principal didn't think it was a joke, and his bosses at the police department didn't think it was funny either.
You have, Richie Farmer. He gets to watch a basketball game before he even gets to go to prison. He stole all that money from the state of Kentucky. You got these 2 former police officers. There's 4 former police officers who were indicted in Brandenburg, right here in Meade County, right? So you got 2 of the 4 officers who had sex with an underage girl, 15-year-old girl, had been indicted. Okay, so they're going to go through the process. An indictment isn't a conviction. It's just saying there's enough evidence to proceed with the case. There's, it's not probable cause, but there's, enough cause. I'm not sure what the terminology is, but it's like really thin. Really, an indictment doesn't mean jack shit, because it means you still got to do a trial. Okay.
2 former police officers are now charged with rape and sodomy, accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a 15-year-old girl.
WDRB's Valerie Chin has been following this story for months and explains the new developments tonight. Valerie.
It's a high-profile case here in Meade County that ended with 2 indictments. Now 2 former officers are free on bond.
So, but 2 of the officers, who was, including one guy, Clanton, I think. Yeah, so this man, Officer Clanton, who actually, Trooper Jerry Clanton, who admitted to having sex with her, but he said, hey, I didn't know. I didn't know she was 15. I thought she was 18. I was told she was 18. He admitted to having sex with her, but they didn't even indict him. They didn't even indict him. They didn't even put him up for indictment. So that's incredible. I'm put up for indictment, but you're going to have, if you're a police officer and you have sex with an underage girl, then you could sit there and say that, hey, I didn't know. They told me, I didn't know, and then that's okay. They won't indict you for that.
The charges are sodomy in the 3rd degree and sodomy in the 3rd degree.
Former Brandenburg officer Todd Maddie and former KSP trooper Stratford Young pled not guilty to their charges, and their bonds were each set at $10,000. They only had to post 10%, which is $1,000, to avoid jail time. Young is charged with 1 count of rape and 2 counts of sodomy for an alleged inappropriate relationship with a 15-year-old girl. Young signed his paperwork and left the Meade County courthouse smiling. Maddie's family members were visibly upset, emotional, and crying when he was indicted, charged with 2 counts of sodomy. Maddie also posted bond but didn't comment.
You also got the Joshua Young case, right? Joshua Young, he probably murdered his stepbrother. It's all indications look like he murdered his stepbrother. But he gets nothing. He gets no charges whatsoever. They said you killed him. They knocked it down. He even asked for an expungement recently, right? So he straight up murders somebody, but he doesn't get menacing charge. He doesn't get disorderly conduct. He doesn't get resisting arrest, right? He gets none of those. What eventually happened, I wish there's a couple of strategic things I think my lawyer and me need to work on, because how are you going to drop all these other charges but still get me with menacing? They were the one menacing. They're the one that tried to run me over. They're plainclothes police officers who have killed people in the past, not the ones that hurt me, but plainclothes LMPD have straight up murdered people in Louisville. And it's just incredible. I got jumped in my own backyard by plainclothes LMPD for walking to the store. $28,000 in medical bills. I go to the jail where they molest.
This is a tremendously tough process, especially in a small town like this. This is a small town. Todd has been in public service his entire life. He's a military veteran. When he left the military, he came back to his hometown. He's been in law enforcement. He's been a coach. He has young children that are in the high school and middle school.
A special grand jury made up of 6 women and 6 men didn't take long to return the indictments. Each accused officer had the opportunity to testify but chose not to. Special Prosecutor Tom Wine says at this time they decided not to present the case against the other accused officers. He says he doesn't want to comment on why because it could affect the other cases. The other accused officers are former Trooper Jerry Clanton and former Breckenridge Deputy Chris Woosley.
And at times things happen that may not represent our agency the way we want it represented, but what I want to get out to the public is that we still feel like we do a really good job, and we're proud of who we are.
That's to me, that was a ton of fun, right? So I get molested in jail, and then when I said something about it, I said, that doesn't make me gay, because they were all laughing about it, ha ha ha. I was like, that doesn't make me gay, you're the one touching me, okay? So that makes, I called him a faggot, but that was just to emasculate him, right? That's just something to take. It's not homophobia, but it's just I figured it would bother him. And then at the very end, after I had said that, they take me into the back room and they're just roughing me up, right? Basically hog tying me, putting me down into the ground, and I got this gash underneath my eye.
It has been 6 months since WDRB News uncovered 4 officers accused of an inappropriate relationship with this 15-year-old girl. Young and Clanton claimed they thought she was 18. Court documents show Clanton admitted to sexual relations with the girl and called it a moral mistake. The father tells me at this time he can't comment on the 2 indictments on advice from his attorney. He had been frustrated the case had taken so long to get to a grand jury. Young and Maddie are expected back here in May, and the judge also ordered that evidence in the case be sealed so it will not be made public to protect the identity of the victim. Live in Brandenburg, Valerie Chin, WBR.
And after I started bleeding all over the place, then they kind of backed off, and then the guy came back and was trying to say, hey, I'm gonna let you be released, but I'm not gay. And I was like, it was just me and him, and it's kind of like, okay, you're gonna release me? Fine, you're not gay. But you totally touched my fucking chode, right? You totally fucking touched my chode and, around my butthole, so it's pretty gay, dude.
He's an officer, and I think it's kind of stupid that he would do that. He shouldn't be doing anything like that at any party at all.
I think it's wrong that he got fired because it was a joke, and I support him. I'm there for him because it was a joke, and I think it's wrong.
Harris was put on administrative leave immediately after the strip down, which happened earlier this month. He was fired yesterday. Students plan to protest at the police department today. They say they have at least 200 student signatures on a petition to try to get him back on the payroll. We'll have more on that story coming up tonight at 5 and 9.
So, it's just incredible how some people get absolutely no charges, completely guilty people. If you're wearing a badge, if you got money, you don't get any charges, but you'll have, I almost guarantee it was this fat white woman, right? This big fat white woman who just seems like a Nazi fascist, do as I say or else I'll hurt you. She's probably been punching people all her life. She's the one that probably pushed to get menacing on me, and that wound up being a $300 fine. And so there's a court case coming up. So a couple comments that I want to make on these cases here.